Hey, how's it going, everybody? Theta Warrior here. We are looking at the SPY daily chart, and I wanted to discuss a trade we took today, a short we took within the elite community. And I just want to walk you through my thinking, what I was looking at, what it would have invalidated this trade, what put me in the trade, why I got out. We're going to cover everything in this video, as well as show you the result of the trade at the end. So basically, we've got SPY daily charts here. We're currently in the session, so you may see this moving around. Today is Tuesday, and on Friday we saw a significant drop. The market really pulled back. NASDAQ had one of the biggest down days it's had in history, point-wise. Over the weekend we gapped up. SPY traded a little bit higher, closed near the lows, and then on Tuesday again we got another gap up, and this time the gap basically failed to push to the upside. The breakout failed to continue towards the prior day's high, which would have been Friday's high, and we sold back down. Now this typically is known as a bull trap. So you'll see if I throw on my lines here, I like to look at previous day's high and previous day's low. And when we zoom in, look at the 5-minute chart, you can see, we had a nice push up in the morning. It tried to break above it and then quickly was rejected. They sold it right back down, and at that point, people are trapped. Basically just liquidity for shorts, to be opening positions and capitalize as the move proceeds to take us lower. So basically we had the setup, a big drop in the market, a couple days higher, and we're looking for a push to the downside following this morning's bull trap. So that's exactly what we got. We got that failure to push above. As soon as we broke down below, I was basically looking for shorts. You can see here within our Discord community, SPY daily looking ominous, right? Basically, right as I'm getting into this position, I'm looking for shorts. Before I even get into that, though, you can see I was actually looking for calls this morning. Micron was looking good. Pre-market Qs were looking good. Never took one of these trades. I always send out the watch before I get into the trade, give everybody a heads up. But I just think this is a good example. Even if you come into the morning with a bullish bias, if price shows you something else, nothing wrong with flipping short. So at that point, once the market failed to push above this prior day's high, I figured it was likely that we may push down lower to kind of test this Friday low area. That was my main first target, was our Friday low. So anyway, ended up taking this SPY short here. The tomorrow's expiration, Wednesday 7:40 put. You can see what the SPY daily chart looked like as I was getting into this trade, right? So it looked like a really nice potential bear flag situation to me. Just looked like it was ready to just drop. Look perfect, primed for a continuation sell, basically from Friday, right? Nice little nice little bull trap that moved to the downside. So ended up taking the trade right around in this area. We had a let me just get my right drawing tool here. We had kind of like a little bear pennant that formed and started to look like it was going to break lower. I also like to look at VWAP and my 9 EMAs, although I don't typically have all this on all the time because I think busy chart is annoying. So basically, I was looking for shorts as long as price held below the 9 EMA and VWAP. And as soon as we started to break down below, I took the trade here, in anticipation of a drop. I'm also looking at other things, like options flow data and overall sentiment within the market. I watched the breadth really closely and the volatility index, the VIX. So everything to me was kind of painting the picture that we may get ready to push down lower. So I took my short in here with a stop, just above our prior day's high, basically. If price did want to push back through that area, obviously I don't need to be involved in a short. I would be looking to flip long at that point. But we did get the break, and you can see these are my targets here in these like dotted line areas. These are all based off of the daily time frame. I don't know why that one's all the way over here. Should basically be there. These are all based on the daily time frame lows. So you've got a big, daily low there at our Friday low, another significant low there, and then ultimately I was targeting this gap in the daily chart from, I guess, 728 to 725. So much easier to see on our lower time frames. There's those same levels, 728 to 725. I'm trimming all the way down. You know, I don't hold a position fully. I believe in the trim and move stop method. So as we get to these targets, I'm trimming and I move my stop. You know, I'm trimming again, I move my stop. Trim again, move my stop. But as long as price holds below, I like to use this 9 EMA on the 5 minute. I think it works really well. As long as price holds below that zone, you know, I want to be involved in this trade. I want to stay short. So I'm trimming, I'm moving my stop. You know, your stop may be, you know, if this is our prior day's low, right? You're taking profit here at your main first TP. Price bounces back up. It rejects at that prior low and the 9 EMA. Perfect. No reason to get out of the trade. Your stop goes right here, just above that level, right? Then it continues to make a new low, pushes down to our next target, and you can see how it will always kind of consolidate. I shouldn't say always, but often it will consolidate right around these levels. So we got another little kind of bear flag situation happening here. You know, your stop then goes just above that prior level. I mean, I guess before it made that low, you know, you'd move your stop down to here, and then, you know, your stop goes to here. So it's just slowly following down price. That way, if and when it does reverse, that's when you want to, you know, get out of the trade because the trend is changing. And you can see, you know, fast forward to what happened, obviously, you know, we pushed down right through this gap. I actually got out right here on this candle. I'll show you my exact exit here in a moment. That was based on just what looked to me like capitulation volume. But typically, if you're following a trend, you know, this is your exit. This is where you want to get out. As price reclaims that 9 EMA. You can see the trend changed, and what happened since we got back over that level, we've just been pushing right back up, pushing right back through it, okay? So capitulation volume, what does that look like? Well, to me, it's a spike in volume on a downside move. You can see we got a ton of volume that came in. Now, this is coupled with, at the time, we had a news post, tweet. Doesn't matter what it was. The market flushed on it. Got a ton of volume. That's when I was like, all right, I need to get out of this trade. Capitulation often looks like this, so I did just that. I also had a buy signal that was kind of setting up. It didn't trigger yet. This is the TW pivot here that we just got added on TradingView, which has been awesome. But you know, when I see these, you know, this is the buy signal built. I'll make a different video for this. I don't want to get too much into it now, but basically I'm looking for potential reversals when I see these buy signals built, you know, potential reversals when I see these sell signals built, so on and so forth. But really it was more so the gap got filled, this 728 to 725 gap got filled on the daily chart. And also we had that capitulation volume. So to me, that's, you know, cut the trade. You know, I took off my runners at this point right here. You can see if we hop back over to the Discord, you know, all of my stop level where I would add, because I was prepared to add a little more higher in case it did bounce back up. And then my targets on the downside, when I'm trimming, like everything is all recorded here. It's all the same on Twitter as well. So it doesn't matter if you like to use, you know, Discord or Twitter, it's all the same. This was my actual exit, 12:39 p.m. at $15.71. Absolutely smacked this trade from our 289 entry. So again, that time I got out 12:39. Right there, you can see this candle is 12:35, so obviously 12:40 right there. Got out right on this candle. I mean, basically sold the low a day. That doesn't always happen. That just worked out kind of nicely in this situation because I was watching the volume and I saw that big spike and just worked out nicely that way. So what happened with this trade? Let me see here. Pull up the screenshot. There it is right there. 437% gain in a few hours, 2-3 hours. 289 to 554 is when I took this screenshot. My exit was actually 1571. So really just a phenomenal day. Really a great setup in the market for us. You know, totally just based on this daily time frame and just studying price action. Like you just have to think, you know, in terms of where the market may put as many people in an offside position as possible, right? After a big drop like this, everybody's looking for, or I should say most people are looking for a continuation lower, right? Most newer traders, but most, veteran traders understand that, you can't go down forever, so likely you're going to have some type of a retracement, a reversion to the mean, if you will, right? A move back higher. So that's what we got, right? So everybody that got short on Friday into the close is then likely stopped out on Monday, or maybe they had poor risk management and they added some, or maybe they left themselves room to add. Okay, we won't make any judgment. Some people probably added or stopped out. And what happens today, right? Like we start to push back over that prior high, and even myself, like I said, I'm looking for a move higher at that point. I don't care, up or down, doesn't make any difference to me. So once that happens, right, it's suckering in, more and more people. I like to wait for confirmation, which is why I didn't take this trade. There was no confirmation signal to get into this. Basically what I would be looking for is a breakout, retest, and a bounce. We didn't get that, so luckily I didn't get into that trade and mess with that. But as soon as I saw this, fail to break out and start to form these bearish patterns, I knew, the short was on. And you can see, like I'm just going to really quickly just draw these in here, so I don't want to make this video too long. But you can see, on our way down, price is continuing to tell you, like, hey, I'm not done selling. I'm not done selling here. I still might have a little bit more. Forgive me with these lines here, but you get the idea. Bear pennant, bear flag, capitulation sell. I mean, this thing had all the, all the signals you could ask for a nice downtrend day, as well as staying below that 9 EMA. So really a killer trade. Took this within the elite community. Really fantastic day. That's all it takes. Done for the day. Hope you guys found this video helpful. Please let me know if so. I'd be happy to make some more of these, and happy trading. See you guys out there.